Welcome to Listening Party for M.A.G.S. Say Things That Matter debut album that dropped yesterday. First of all, man, congrats to have it finally out there in the wild and to the world. How's it feel?
Well, thank you. It feels great, honestly. It's like we've been preparing for this for the last few months. Like just talking about it constantly, and everything has been centered around just like the album release. So now that it's out, it's like, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels great, and I'm really excited about the response I've been getting so far.
Yeah. Is there anything that stood out to you specifically in terms of the response?
I think just the fact that people are already able to kind of just like appreciate how much like weight and depth there is to the songs, and the project as a whole. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people have reached out to me and talked to me about how like cohesive the whole thing sounds like all the way through, and just like how much like they can kind of just feel me throughout every song. You know what I mean? So and that was what I wanted. You know what I mean? I wanted people to be able to have their own sort of interpretations of each song and have their own feelings, but also it's like, it is based around my own personal experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I definitely get that cohesive feel throughout the project, and it all feels very tight and well put together.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely a well-rounded body of work. I think after listening to Self-Titled and then coming to your latest project, it definitely feels like you've done everything we loved from that project, but even did more in different ways creatively, even with electric sounds that just blend in a little bit perfect, with all the guitar and everything else. I just like how it was controlled but experimental at the same time. It was a really cool way to see you manifest that. So once again, congratulations on the long-awaited project. We've been waiting, and we're excited to hear today at this listening party. So
right on.
And you guys, if you guys want to get more in depth about Elliot, you can go check out our last interview we did. Today is just about the music, so we're just gonna hop right into it. And then at the end, for everybody, if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and do that down in the chat, and we'll try to get to everybody. And people who have the best questions, we might throw you some free shirts or something like that. So let's get right to it. First song we're gonna get to is "Smile." I don't know if you want to intro it, kind of talk about it maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I could. So the funny thing about "Smile" was it was definitely the song that I based the entire record on, in terms of just the sonics of the whole record. We had a timeline for when we wanted the album to come out and how many singles we wanted to release and how frequently we were going to release singles. So, we had to get started on putting singles out before the album was done. And we decided "Smile" was going to be the first single. So I had to have that one completely mixed and mastered before I had even finished editing the other songs. So there was this kind of I guess it felt like a little bit of pressure, because it's I have to kind of decide the vibe and the sonics of this whole project right now.
Yeah.
And, we made the video with an unmixed, unmastered, unfinished version. And then, before we released the video, I had finished the song and got it mastered and everything. So it was definitely a bit of a stretch to sort of have the foresight to okay, what I have to make a decision what I want to do, and this song is going to shape the rest of the project. So, but ultimately I feel like this song has the best mix out of all of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the mixing on this one is the most, how can I say, there's just a lot going on. There's just a lot of dynamic, and there's a lot of like parts where it feels small and then it gets bigger, like just like dynamic shifts and stuff. So yeah, I put a lot of time and energy into this song in particular, and then everything else sort of just, I use that as the archetype for the rest of the songs.
So it's kind of like the perfect jumping off point then.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's get to it.
Blueprint.
Here it is. Smile. Hold up. All right, here it is.
After I'm gone, you'll know me as the one who holds the key to your heart. Oh my God, fix your broken smile. I just wanna be high in bed with you, and all of our problems, they can wait outside for a little while. You're not alone in thinking everyone's out to get you. Take the blame and hold it right in front of you. Lay my head on it, I'm so tired, and you're on fire. But after I'm gone, you'll know me as the one who holds the key to your heart. Oh my God, fix your broken smile. I know just where I belong, so put your hand in my hand. No more fighting at all over that bullshit. Gonna try being honest. Isn't that what you wanted? Well, that's too much thinking. As the one who holds the key to your heart. Oh my God, fix your broken smile. And I know just where I belong, so put your hand in my hand. No more fighting at all over that bullshit.
Sonically, I definitely see how you said that this like kind of set the tone for like, the whole album. You definitely get that coming through now that you mentioned it.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of textures in there.
Kind of.
Yeah. Let's maybe we can jump ahead to another song.
Okay.
I know a lot of people have heard like the singles and everything.
Hmm.
You know, and I know everybody who's here also mostly has heard the singles. But maybe if we jump ahead to like Golden, I think that's one I was getting a lot of feedback on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything interesting behind this one?
It's a lot actually. This one this is the first song that I should say this is the oldest song on this record. I wrote this one back in 2015, probably 2016 actually, summer 2016.
It's a breakup record.
Yeah, actually it was. But it was like it was just something that I had like an idea I had demoed when I was living in Buffalo. And I did probably 2 different demos when I was in Buffalo, and then I did like 3 more when I moved here. And I think I was just trying to figure out the right arrangement, because I had a bunch of parts for this song that I would kind of swap out for each time I re-recorded it. And so I eventually ended up with about, like I said, like 6 versions that like all sounded slightly different. And so the challenge for making the record was just like, okay, well, what version do I go with? You know, it's like, I know this is a good song, and I know this is one that I want to put on the record, but I'm just not sure like how it's going to sound, you know? But I think I was able to sort of just like take all the best parts, all my favorite parts of each version. And, you know, I think also having the song that comes directly after Beach Love, like having the idea to combine those 2 songs, it made it so that Golden had more of a like clear, I just had more intention, I guess, when I was recording it and mixing it, because I knew.
I liked how that came together, you know, with that, because of that interlude in between. Because it was nice. It was almost like the night or the day before, like at sunset, and then like the morning after, like, you know, at sunrise or something.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that this version on the record is definitely like the definitive version. And yeah, I mean, same kind of deal. I got to the point where I was mixing it, and then I was like, man, like I've mixed this song so many times. Like, what am I gonna do that I haven't done already? And I don't know. I guess at some point it kind of just clicked. You know what I mean? I don't really know if there was like a point where it shifted, but I definitely struggled with the mix on this one for a good minute, because, you know, after you demo something for such a long time, things start to kind of just blur together. Yeah. You know, it's like, and then you're also trying to make it sound like the demo, and then, you know, it kind of just doesn't always translate.
Yeah, so you can get lost in the sauce. Get Kanye West Life of Pablo on, where he's got like 6 different versions of the wolf. You know?
Yeah,
the evolving album.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever take it that far, but I can appreciate him having to like re-release that album like a bunch of different times to change things, you know. But he's also Kanye, so he can do that.
Yeah. All right, so here is the definitive version of Golden. Let's get to it.
Summer's almost over. golden. Baby, why are you standing in one place? You're looking frozen, and you could be golden. So why was I always so afraid? Anxiety growing, waking up in the morning, hazy, just like the California days. Now I'm feeling golden, and you could be golden.
And then the seagulls come in all hot.
Yeah, I love that too. I love how it was like a blended interlude. That was dope.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, the breakdown at the end is always one of my favorite parts. You know, you get feels like you get so much emotion out of it. You know.
Yeah, it's like ultimately like that's like the shit I grew up on. It's like shit with breakdowns. You know what I mean? It's just like that moment when it's like.
Really feel so big at that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you just like feel it like throughout your entire body. You're just like, damn, like this feels really good. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. I feel I'm gonna say that for every song. It's like I love every song, like just, you know, for what it is.
It's like saying like, what's your favorite child, you know? Like,
yeah, no, that's exactly what I say when people ask me. It's like, what's your favorite song? It's like, I mean, they're all my favorite. Like I just have different feelings about them, you know. And nothing wrong with that.
They exist in different spaces. Like they're in my collection, but they're their own thing on purpose. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Shit, let's try. Let's do Bike.
Hey, I was gonna mention that one.
Yeah, I like that because obviously for everyone. I mean, who doesn't know already, Elliot plays all of the instruments, if not all of them. And there's a dope little like almost guitar solo, but it's not a solo in this, right? Like,
yeah, it's funny because it's funny. Whenever this song comes on, my girlfriend Taylor has something to say about it because. When I was writing this song, I was playing all the guitar parts just like in the living room, just like trying to learn how to play them. Cause it's probably one of the harder riffs I've ever written. The riff that's in this song. And so I would just sit there for hours, just like trying to get it so it sounded like clean. And then, there's like probably 3 or 4 separate riffs in this song. And I would just play them all out of order for like hours at a time. And she was just like, what is he doing? Like, what is this thing he's trying to make, And it wasn't until the whole song was like completely done. And I was like, I just with like push play on it essentially. And I played it for her and she was like, okay, I get it. But now every time the song comes on, she just like, yeah, I remember that time when for 6 months, all I heard was like, you trying to like figure it out during quarantine and all that. But yeah, this is another song that's a little older. I wrote this song actually for a blog, or not a blog, like a vlog that I was doing a few years ago. It didn't last very long, but the whole idea was it was going to be like a personal vlog, and then I was going to like soundtrack it. And this was a song that I like wrote and recorded in the span of probably like an hour. At least the first part of it, like the whole second half, like the bridge with the riffs and everything, like I wrote that after the fact. But the whole first half of the song is pretty much just like an hour's worth of work. And it's like that's lucky. I feel like that's like always like one of those types of like a gift type of situation. You get a song that actually like is actually good, and it didn't require like a year of like obsessing over it to get it to a good point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to use like one of the 4 songs that everybody uses for vlogs?
No. The idea was that the whole concept of the vlog was it was supposed to be like an original music vlog. You know what I mean? So it didn't, I guess in my mind, it didn't really matter what I was doing. It was just like, it was about the songs,
Yeah.
So it didn't last very long just because, the whole YouTube bubble for me, because it kind of burst kind of early. But yeah, that was definitely like a really fun challenge. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm going to do this whole vlog, and then I'm going to just like write some songs that I think would go with some of these parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a dope concept.
So yeah, it's crazy that this one actually made it onto the album.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like the actual chant part too, like at the end, or you made the chorus almost like a chant because of the vocal stack. Yeah,
I wanted it to like, this is going to be kind of hard to explain, but this I think is like my blackest song. And I think this is my blackest song because like it's just kind of got this like slightly more like hype energy. Like even though it's kind of low key, like I think I'm really influenced by like Playboi Carti's vocals, like the way that he like layers all of these like hype tracks and stuff, and then he'll just be like saying whatever, it like barely matters what he's saying, but he's just got all this like rhythmic stuff happening.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like something I was borrowing from with this one, was just like, let's do a lot of like weird background stuff that just is more of like feeling, and so when I did that chant part, I wanted it to feel kind of like just like a moment where everybody is just like bouncing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like it's kind of like it feels black to me, you know what I mean? I don't know if everybody will interpret it that way, but that was what I was going for.
All right, let's check it out. Bike.
Don't wanna go outside.
I definitely get the, now you mentioned the chanting, like the little hypeness at the end for sure. Like come from like that kind of hip hop aspect. I like that.
Yeah, it's subtle. It's like still.
Yeah, but it's like forced. I even started like I threw my hand for a second, like oh shit, like it was just a reaction, like oh yeah.
I'm hoping that by the time we go out on this tour and people have time to like learn the shit, like that could be like a really hype part.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for.
Maybe we get like a Playboy Cardi remix,
Man, that would be weird, but it could be cool. I don't know. It'd be definitely weird though. Shit. Let me think. Let's do Choked Out.
Oh yeah.
I think Choked Out is like, I
love the writing on that. Cause you like slick and like subtle the way you like flip bars and stuff.
Yeah, I think Wait is probably like, if I had to like pick like the best song or like the most like the song that defined the record, I think it's Wait. But I think Choked Out is probably like, to me, the best song. If I can pick a best, but I also might pick a different best and like. But I think it's one of my favorites because it's just got so many different like colors and temperatures. You know what I mean? And
for sure.
It kind of takes you through this whole sort of like story without you really realizing it until you're at the end. You're just like, oh shit, like there was this whole kind of like sub narrative that I wasn't even picking up on until I'm at the end. And I'm like, I can't believe we're here.
I love that. It felt like, I was just like on the edge being walked through a storyline.
Yeah. And I think this one is also one of the ones where I started to really incorporate like the production elements I ended up going with. I think a lot, getting through a lot of the tracking on this album was like, I didn't really have an idea of like what I wanted everything to sound like when it was done. I just knew what the songs would sound like when all the instruments were going to be tracked and everything. Like I was like very like felt very flexible about like what type of like production stuff. I didn't have that all planned out. I'm gonna use this synthesizer. I'm gonna make this sound, and I'm gonna like use this like effect on the vocals. It was just like I'm gonna track the instruments and then just kind of figure it out. Yeah,
because it's not like every song is like guitar heavy. I really like how there's songs that are just like emphasizing piano and like almost no drums. It's like the versatility in the style of production. Because that's like you too, it's not like different producers coming in doing that. It's just, you're producing. So.
Yeah, that was actually really challenging. It's like, it's hard for me to not add drums to everything. Because I'm just like, I'm a drummer. Drums are my first instrument. So like the first thing I want to do is like add drums. So there's a few songs that don't have those, obviously. And but I think with Choked Out, it was like, I had to kind of, in some ways it's like writing music is really easy and it comes naturally for me. And in a lot of ways, writing music is like extremely hard, and it's just not easy. It doesn't always feel like I know how to write songs. I'll get like a cool idea, and then it's like, okay, well, this is an idea, but it's not a song.
Yeah.
So I'll get like this one I did kind of the same deal where I had a demo of the whole front half, both verses and like the I don't want to love you anymore part. And then I didn't have a chorus. And I probably wrote like, I'll write anywhere from like 5 to 10 choruses for a song sometimes until I find the right one. I feel like I know it. Like I know it's the one when I sing it and I start just kind of like getting excited. It's like, oh, that's exactly what I would want to hear right there. You know what I mean? And then sometimes it's just like, I'm just trying to fill space. I'm just trying to like, okay, well, here's the next part. And it doesn't always stick, but yeah, this one, the chorus, I was like, the chorus just has to be better than that hook, like the hook is so good. So like, I got to do a chorus that like can be another level up from that.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think
we did it. Yeah.
Definitely.
That was what to say. So let's get to it. Choked out.
Trouble seeps into the blood till all the color runs out. Karma takes me by the throat, but I like to get choked out. Feel the love, don't miss the point. Too scared to ever look down. Beat it up, just beat it up until both of us pass out. My finger making you sick, You're a masterpiece inside a broken shell. I might get down and you might start loving this new hell, yeah.
Hey, killing the game.
Love it.
An echo. I think it's just
There we go.
We're good.
well good. Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, that was definitely like my intro to the project through was the Choked Out music video. And I was like, okay, this is really dope. I definitely want to hear more. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. My personal favorite might be, not sure yet, but it might be Wait.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just dropped the music video for yesterday. And I think probably why is because I love the breakdown so much that you have. It's like,
Yeah.
like your punk roots a little bit. Like I was
That
like,
was exactly what I was talking about. I like wanted to hear last time we talked, I think, was that like that part. And then I was like, oh, there it is. Like
Yeah. I think with this whole project, I at some point realized like, I'm like, do I have enough fast songs? Like, you know, like not most of my songs actually aren't fast. They're just, they got a lot of energy. You know what I mean? Like none of them are like double time or anything like that. So Wait, if you really think about it, is still just kind of like, You can still do this to it. You know what I mean? It feels fast, and it feels like, you know, it's got that energy though. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, this song was very much like sort of the catalyst for the whole record. I know I've said that about a couple of different songs, but like kind of in different ways. Like Wait was the one that I wrote and decided that I wanted to make a project, versus Smile was the one that like defined the sound of the project.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Wait was really like, I think me and like everyone that was on my team, when I sent out the demo, we all knew it was like a really special track. And, you know, every time that we shared it with anybody, you know, industry facing or otherwise, they were just like, yeah, when's this dropping? Like, who is this again? Like, I want to know more. Like, you guys want to work? Like, and I'm just like, you know, so there's definitely been some general buzz around this song, you know, so I was really excited, particularly to drop this one. Like, realistically, if I had it my way, I would have just dropped this and then dropped the album, you know, but.
I like the rollout. You did a really good, like, traditional, like, old school. This is how rollouts used to be. And I like how you led up to it, and then you kept Wait as the joint for the release single. This is the single on the release. That's lit. That's smart. I think it handled it well.
Yeah, like I said, like if I had it my way, I would have just dropped Wait and then dropped the album. But I've luckily got people around me that are smarter than me, and you know, can help me make well-informed decisions. So we went with the rollout, and I think it's paid off. You know, and I think that no pun intended, I think it was worth the wait. So. Yeah, I really didn't.
Beat me to it.
No.
We'll just lean into it.
It worked too good.
Yeah, but no, this song, I'm also very excited to play it live, because it's just all energy, and it's, you know, I think a lot of people are gonna resonate with this track because it sounds like being young. You know? Yeah,
it's crazy because how you even sequenced like the energy in the song is crazy. Because like the hard shit hits up front, you know, and then in the back is like a softer sort of like lead up into the energy again.
You get some quick like 30-second mosh pits going on through the song, you know.
Yeah. The crazy thing about this song actually was it's just like, I recorded so much of the instruments and stuff like separately, like within the span of a year. So like, not to get too deep into this, but like I recorded it in February 2020, right before the lockdown started. And then I started recording the other tracks for the album in June of that same year. And then we got to about the time that I was starting to mix, like early fall, mid fall. And I realized that Wait just sounded sonically totally different, because I used different instruments, like different guitars, like different drums, like different mics, like everything was different. And it sounded a little inconsistent compared to the other songs. So I ended up retracking the guitars just, you know, as a safety. And it didn't quite bring it to life like I wanted. And so I ended up retracking the bass and making some other adjustments, and it wasn't hitting how I wanted. And so like a week before I was supposed to actually hand in the finished record, I decided I wanted to retract the drums. I knew at the beginning that was actually what the problem was, but I didn't want to like admit it. I'm like, man, I don't really want to retract these drums, but like, it just got to the point where I was like, if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it forever. So, I retract the drums, and then I did a whole bunch of different mixes and masters on it. I worked with this gentleman, Jesse Cannon, on the mastering for this album. And he honestly, like, I thought my mixes were good. I was really proud with how the mixes turned out. But his mastering really is what gave it the, like, kind of jumping off the speakers kind of, you know, factor, I guess. And so when I would hear the masters back, especially for this one, for when I heard Wait, because this was the last one that we did, he sent it to me, and I played it in my car and turned it up as loud as it would go. And it was just like, and I was like, yes.
That car test is important, man.
Yeah, it really was. but it really like melted my face off. And I was like, if I'm getting my face melted off and I made the song, like it's going to be perfect on this record. So yeah, I think I had to work really, really hard on this one just to get it to where I knew it was going to have the impact that I knew the song would have. It needed to sound right.
Well, I think you did it. It's special. It's a special one. So without further ado, let's check out Wait. Music video just dropped yesterday.
Try not to talk about the weather. It don't mean anything to anyone. It's not like we could stay together by jumping the fence. Now it don't make sense. I'm back where I started. It rained every single day on my vacation. What if I never left this place? I know this feels like I don't got much to say. I got a feeling that I should say this now. Don't wait forever. I got a feel like I should tell you. Don't wait forever. I understand now more than ever what's holding me together. Yeah, I got so I can't remember what's keeping me safe. Now I'm good with it. I wanna get better. I wanna be a good friend. Sometimes I wanna give up, but don't let me. I got a feeling that I should say this now. Don't wait forever. I got a feel like I should tell you. Don't wait forever. I got a feeling that I should say this now. Don't wait forever. Yeah. I kinda feel like I should tell you. Yeah. I got a feeling that I should say this now. Don't wait forever. I kinda feel like I should tell you. Don't wait forever. Try hard not to let you down. Don't leave me underground. I'll be here forever. Take my hand and push me down, and I will fill your cup, but don't take forever.
Yep. That shit goes.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a monster live. You already have Reese over here, throwing elbows.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
What can I say? I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
When you feel the spirit.
I'm saying exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be feeling it up there. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man. How was that video shoot, by the way? with that homage. That was so sick. I love like certain like continuous shots you guys did. Like
honestly, that video shoot was kind of like probably the most successful video shoot that we had done out of the 5 that we made. It took, I guess for me, it was a lot easier because the other videos, it was just me. You know what I mean? Like we started making videos during the pandemic, and you know, I think we started making the Smile video in like September, October. You know, so we were still pretty like not talking with each other like that. You know, so this one, it's like everybody was vaccinated and it was cool, and we were able to like involve more people. You know, and I think I was able to sort of manage my energy and give, you know, even more of a performance because it wasn't just me all day being on, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the shoot itself, it was amazing. We shot it all just at this one spot, downtown LA. And then we did the final scene at my apartment, the room I'm literally sitting in right now. And yeah, that was honestly like probably my favorite experience making a visual for the whole record.
I love that visual. That's like one of my favorite. It's just only because of just how smooth it was. It was just like really smooth. Like like even that choreography duo. Do you know them? Was that, or you know, like what?
Yeah, I know the girl who did the actual choreography. I didn't know the dancers until they showed up the day of. And I also hadn't even seen the choreography until the day of. So I was like, at some point, you know, we're shooting it and I'm watching, I'm just like, this is going to be in the video? Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah, you were like, wait, what?
I was like, wait, what? Like, they got this together how quick? Like,
yeah, because it was like on every, like, they were really like body language catching the lyricism. So I loved that part.
Yeah, I was just like so impressed by that whole segment, you know what I mean? And we had originally talked about just like having like a section for dancing, you know, but we didn't really like talk about what that was going to look like or whatever. And then, you know, I got caught up just making sure all the other logistics for the video were going to be okay. And then, you know, the choreography part kind of slipped through the cracks. But so to show up on set and then see it and then just be like, this is even better than I could have even asked for. You know, that's always a good feeling.
That's dope.
I want to shout out everybody who's joined us today. Especially want to shout out Fabio. He's been in here rocking with us the whole time. If you guys have any questions, definitely write them down in the chat below. He did have one question, and he said that you said that Body is your favorite before. And you've also mentioned the Staircase has a lot of meaning to you. Would you say that is your new favorite?
It kind of goes back to what I had said earlier. It's like, they're all my favorite. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, well, I guess in regards to Body, I think for a long time that was my favorite song to play live, just because it just kind of bops so hard, and it's like it's fun to watch the audience kind of just like they'll be listening to the intro and they're like, yep, and then they'll get to the verse and they'll just start doing this, and then it gets to the chorus and they're all just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, I knew it. So I really liked playing that song live. And I'm Staircase is one of those songs that definitely means a lot to me because it's about, you know, mostly just being homesick, you know, like missing my family and like, you know, leaving Buffalo. It's kind of a pivotal time in my life, you know, and then, you know, being in LA for a few years and then just kind of being like, man, like, do I even like being here? You know what I mean? Like, this is such a wild existence. And, you know, there was something beautiful about just the simplicity of being in my hometown, you know, but I think that's also a trap. So I'm glad I'm not there.
No, I think all hometowns are a trap.
Oh yeah. Nostalgia can be a trap.
I really have a song about that. So go figure.
So I guess I probably have like time for like maybe one more song. Is there anything specific you want to?
Yeah, there's actually a really short one. We do Metaphors. It's like the track.
Which one is it?
Metaphors. It's right after Bed.
Oh, Metaphors. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So a funny thing about this song is that originally it was the bridge for Beg. Before I wrote that big like breakdown part, it went into like it went to the big chorus that like, you know, goes to like a quiet part and then the breakdown. It was just a big chorus and then it went into metaphors. But it was like played on like, it was supposed to sound a little more like live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at some point I was like, this part literally doesn't make any sense in this song. So I just sort of like just took it out.
Yeah, put it on
off to the side, and then wrote something different that felt more like what I wanted to do. I'm like, let's make it bigger, you know? And then Metaphors ended up kind of just being more of an experiment. You know, I think prior to making the record, I was making a lot of just like beats and doing a lot of experimenting with like, you know, just using different sounds, you know what I mean? I definitely come from kind of the analog world. So using programmed beats or using like, I don't know, just like all kind of digital production has only really become relevant to me in the last probably like 5 years, you know? So I wanted to kind of push myself to do something that sounded like M.A.G.S, but wasn't really anything I had done previously, you know? And I kind of gotten into like lo-fi production, like lo-fi hip hop production and stuff. I'm like, let me just like try and do something that's just weird. And it can be an interlude, it could be a song, like however you want to like interpret it. I see it more as a song, even though it's only 30 seconds. But,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, short songs are kind of the wave right now in music anyways, you know?
Yeah, I feel like if the right person makes a TikTok to that song, it could be a smash hit.
Yeah, you never know. It happens out the blue.
True, yeah.
All right, let's get to it. Metaphors.
You said no, what happened? Don't know. I miss being again. You said no, watch it unfold. My hands clean, so you said no, 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 you said no.
Short and sweet, but like you said, it definitely has that TikTok quality to it for sure. And I also remember it being at the end of the music video for Beg. Now that I just heard it again, like you get the video with that.
Yeah, that whole video was that was like a very loose video shoot. It was basically just me, my girlfriend Taylor, who's also the creative director on all the visuals. So we basically conceptualized everything together, and then she's like, "Cool, let me actually more be like a producer and a creative director, and you know, like a set designer and a stylist, and do all this shit for you." And it's amazing.
She might need a race, man.
Yeah, she might be. We were sitting right here, like laughing her ass off, actually. Yeah, it's just me, her, and the director Mitch. He shot this one or that one, and we just kind of rolled around downtown LA and just like shot some shit. I got really, really high at one point when we were shooting one of those scenes where I'm just like smoking a J. I smoked the whole thing for myself, and then I moved around.
They're like, all right, shoot again. They're like, oh, I gotta roll another one. I'll just
You ever like smoked a whole blunt and then like gone for a run?
Yeah, no, that's not a good idea.
That's pretty much what I did. And at some point I was just like, I could pass out right now. Like, we'll see.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they meant by runner's high.
No. It was definitely like, I was like, I have to tap out just for a couple minutes here, guys.
Yeah, your lungs feel like you're on fire. Like.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. Like, I know I'm a little bit like, I got to get my stamina back up, like do some jump ropes or some cardio and shit, but like, this is the next level.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Don't try it at home, kids. No, just
unless you want to get stupid high, it's actually probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, you'll be gone after that. After you sit down, you probably can't do nothing else for a while.
So we have a couple questions. I think A. Kosanki. I might have fucked your name up, but let me know.
That's my guitar. That's my guitarist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of answer this, I think, at some points. Which song are you most proud of?
What song am I most proud of? That's actually an extremely difficult question. I think I'd probably say Wait, just because it was such a bitch to get it together. Like there were certain points where I was like, this song's just going to be weak and I'm going to have to just deal with it, you know? The first round of mastering, I sent it out with like this kind of weak mix. And then I got the master back and it was a weak master. And I was like, well, I guess I kind of did this to myself. So it was definitely not easy. And it was a challenge. And I think it came together amazing. So I think I'm really proud of that one.
Okay. Another one, Fabio. So we'll be releasing more beats as you've done with The Bomb then?
Yeah. So The Bomb, that was actually just like a track that I released this past week, just as like a reel on Instagram. It's not even really like a song. It was just like something I was making on my Instagram live. And then I was like, oh wait, I got to just like cut up the live and just finish the song real quick. And I put it out with a visual that I had on my phone for a bit. But like, I don't know. I think honestly, like I'm kind of just messing around with that for now. So, you know, I can't really say what I'm going to do with that just yet.
Okay. And another one, which would you say is the hardest song to play?
Bike is definitely up there. I think Bike actually might be the hardest for a couple different reasons. It was like the chorus is basically one breath. And I think when I recorded it, like I sing it in parts, you know? So to get through that whole phrase is one breath. And I'm thinking about how I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do it live. Cause that's like, I would want to breathe like right in the middle of the phrase, but like it's the way it's recorded, you can't. So I'm going to have to probably just get better at singing, I guess. I'm not really sure. And then the guitar part and the bridge, I almost always play it wrong. So like after 6 months of practicing it, I still play it wrong to this day. So overall, that song it just kicks my ass every time.
We still got some time to the shows, you know, so you'll work it out.
Yeah, I like it. Before every show, I'm gonna have to just like warm up with that song. Be like, okay, if I can play this one, I can literally get through any of the others.
Everything else. Yep. Okay. From Joseph Hatan, in what ways was the crafting of this album different or better or worse than putting together your self-titled project?
My self-titled project, I have to say at this point, comparatively, I really wasn't trying at all. I spent a lot of time just kind of like fucking around, honestly. Like I recorded all of the instruments like in about 9 hours. It was me playing drums, and then I had a live bassist at the time, and we did all the drums and bass in just a few hours, like really simple shit. And then did all the guitars pretty quick. And then so all the instrumentals were done in one session, took them home, and took forever to finish the vocals, and then took forever to just get the mixes to a place where I could send them to the guy who was mastering them. Mm-hmm. And he was like, hey, so these mixes are kind of trash. Maybe you should, and he gave me all of these like notes on like, it's like, they're not, I guess he didn't say they were trash, but he definitely had some notes. And he sent me like, if you did this differently with the drums, like across the entire record, it would probably make more sense. Like your vocals are really quiet. You could probably bring them up a little bit. Like just kind of gave me some overall like general advice. And it was also like the second record I'd ever mixed ever, so it was not really like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then halfway through the mixing process, I decided to rebuild my computer. I had like a desktop, and I had built it, and then I realized I didn't really have enough CPU to like mix a record. So I decided I was going to just gut it and update the CPU. And then I lost all my plugins. So I had to spend a whole bunch of money that I didn't have to rebuy the plugins that I needed to finish the record. So it was just some shit, and I kind of did it to myself. You know what I mean? I could have had it done a lot quicker, but I kind of just was fucking around, like I said. So that's the main difference, is that I didn't really have time to fuck around with this one. Yeah.
Okay. What was the thought process behind placing Choked Out before Nostalgia in the track list? This is from Amelia.
That's a great question, because originally Nostalgia was called Choked Out. So the original version of Nostalgia, it's saved in my phone as Choked Out 1 or something like that. And then when I wrote the demo for what later became Choked Out, I used the same word, like the same phrase. I'm like, well, this song makes way more sense as being called Choked Out. And I guess I'll just call this other one Nostalgia, because it's the second word in the song. I'm really like bad at naming my songs. I don't ever have very like eloquent titles or anything. It's always just like, what's the main word in the chorus? Or like, what's the first word in the first verse? And it's like, okay, well, that's going to be the song title.
Right.
But yeah, I think I just left it like that because it made sense. And I thought it would be a fun way to just like make it feel like an album, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I like that, because it kind of makes the audience have to like search for it. Mm-hmm. It's almost like like they're listening to it, waiting for the word, so they're like really listening, to the lyrics. And like, boom, there it is. I mean, it specifically happened to me listening to Golden. Like, I just remember I was like listening. I was like, "Ooh, where's Golden coming from? How's he gonna roll that in?" I was like, "Ooh." Mm-hmm. It's like when he said when I can be Golden, like why wouldn't I change? I was like, "Ooh, that's dope." I like that.
That actually came from one of the later versions of the demo, because I never actually said Golden in the original song. And then when I rewrote it, however many times, eventually I wrote different lyrics, and so I'm like, okay, well, I gotta have these lyrics in this album version, and I gotta use this whole part. So, but that song was just called Golden because originally I was just trying to make a song that sounded like what golden hour feels like. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like if I could just make a song that just sounds like being on the beach at like sunset, like let me do that. But then I was like, okay, well then I think I can just write different lyrics that make it make sense. So yeah.
All right. One last question. What made you go with other versions of songs instead of more rock-based demos, like the one you mentioned yesterday of Beach Love? And that's from Fabio.
Right. I was on live yesterday and I was talking a little bit about some of the demos that I made for this album. And Beach Love was one of those songs that like originally it was a song I literally like woke up one morning and was just like, oops, gotta make a song. And I just like sat at my computer and kind of just made it. And all the words just kind of shot out of me. And I had like this little toy drum kit that I found at the thrift store. And I had put a bunch of like t-shirts and stuff over it to make it quiet. And I just recorded these like really quiet like drums. And then just kind of like made the rest of the demo around it. And it kind of had this like a very different feel from the album version, almost like a march, it had this kind of like dun, 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 dun. Mm. And it's like, that was fine, but it just kind of, I don't know, it didn't make me feel anything. It was kind of just like, okay, that's a song. So like I said, when I had the idea to combine Beach Love and Golden and make Beach Love more of a ballad, like it made sense to just kind of like make that song a little bit more low key and a little deeper and a little more like, just give it a little bit more feeling, I guess. So when we recorded it, like that's my friend Jake playing the piano on that song. He's got like a little studio in his, the building he lives in. And they have like this slightly like out of tune piano in their foyer. That just kind of sits there, and we mic'd it up, and he just like, I wrote the chords, but he played them, and just, we went through the whole song. And that was literally all I had. I only had him playing the song all the way through. And I didn't have any like other ideas of what I was going to do. I'm like, this is going to end up just being something at some point. And maybe I'll add drums, maybe I won't. But I ended up just kind of almost wanting it to be like an a cappella track with a piano beneath it.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I started with just stacking a bunch of vocals. And so everything else kind of just like came in underneath it. You know, and then I met this guy, Emmanuel, who is like a session cellist. And, you know, he was like, yo, like if you ever need anything like strings on any of your songs or anything, like just don't be afraid to hit me up, you know? And at some point I was like, actually, I should hit him up because that could be like a really wild thing to have on this record. It's just like a whole like string arrangement, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hit him up and I sent him the song. I sent him that song and I sent him Staircase. And yeah, he was like, cool. And so he sent me a whole bunch of stuff and I ended up chopping it up and making my own parts out of it. But yeah, I think that really kind of made that song, like the strings and all that, like it kind of just evolved in front of me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's the kind of beautiful thing about not having a lot of hard and set expectations going into making a project, you know, because if you put yourself in a box right away, you know, you don't really open yourself up to having other ideas and being inspired during the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's like where I get hung up with sometimes with making demos. It's like I'll make a demo and I'll just like produce the fuck out of the demo, and then I'll try to re-record it with like better gear or something, and then it doesn't quite have the same.
Well, the way you did Nostalgia is like, you know, keeping all of that, right? You know, like the song.
Yeah, that song was literally just like one take in a verse.
Yeah, I wrote down one take, jam, reverb in the room, one mic away from the singer. Like it sounds like you're playing overhead, like just getting your shit off. It almost feels like a freestyle. Like you just wrote the song in your head and was like, I'm gonna get my shit off real quick.
That song
is your drink down.
That song is a freestyle. I actually.
Oh, see, I can hear it. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that song was definitely a freestyle because I remember I started playing that progression and I started singing those words, and I got to a certain point when I was literally just saying shit. I guess it was probably just what I was feeling, and I was like, oh, I gotta record this. So that's when I pushed record on my phone and freestyled like almost the entire song. Yeah. I think I ended up writing one little section after. And so when I recorded it for real for the album, it was just like, I did it in like 2 takes and I just wanted it to be kind of loose. And, you know, I think I did a little bit of, you know, processing. I added like some chorus and I added some reverb and stuff like that to give it a little bit of a vibe to fit with the rest of the album. Cause it was really dry and kind of like harsh and echoey before. And so I just gave it a little bit of like, I have like a chorus plugin that is based on the chorus for like a synthesizer that I use. And it just gave it this like nice little, I don't know, the word is vibe. I don't want to use the word vibe, but it's just gave it like a nice vibe. So
yeah, definitely.
I've been trying to find a better word than vibe because everybody's just like, it's good vibes, man. It's like, yeah, but there's gotta be more. There's gotta be something more than just vibes, you know?
All right, man, that's such a perfect word.
It is a perfect word. I could just say vibration, maybe. I don't know. It's like a hippie or something.
All right. So that was the listening party. We got through not the whole album, but we got a good feel and taste for what you have. Once again, congratulations for the release. Everybody definitely needs to go stream it, go play it, go add it to your TikToks, do everything you can. Go follow Elliot at all his socials. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, wherever at Living Life Fearless. And thank you everybody for joining us. I guess what we're going to do today is for everybody that is here, we're going to offer everybody a free t-shirt. One of our t-shirts, one of the Reese is wearing. I'll put the info in the chat. You guys can go ahead and email us whatever size address you guys want your t-shirts at, or you can go to the post and comment that you were there and we'll send you something. But once again, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Elliot, very much. The album is very dope, and I can't wait till you get a chance to play some of these live, because I think that'll take things even to the next level.
I think so too. Thank you guys again for having me. It feels like a nice little thing we got going on over here. So can't wait to come back.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Always.
Definitely.
Hopefully we'll be like a little small part of, whatever success you come from this.
Don't forget about us when you blow up. No, you know how they always say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right on.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody. Keep living life fearless.
Yep.
Until next time.